Dirty dealings, corporate battles, consumer woes. This is Evening 5. Malaysia will likely raise spending in the federal budget for 2025, drawing comfort from robust economic growth that will help the government avoid stretching its finances further. The expansionary policy will lift total fiscal expenditure about 400 billion ringgit for the first time ever, a survey of economists by The Edge shows, as the government raises allocations for operations but reduces the budget for development. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim is widely expected to announce massive cash handouts, outlays for existing and new infrastructure projects, as well as splurge on salaries for civil servants when he presents Budget 2025 this Friday. However, that would mean that the government will undershoot its own target to shrink the gap in its finances. Budget deficit as a proportion of economic output will likely come in at 3.8% in 2025, according to the median estimate of 11 economists in the Edge's poll. That compares to the 3 to 3.5% target set during the 12th Malaysia Plan midterm review. The same poll by The Edge shows that Malaysia's economy may expand to a median 4.8% next year. To finance the expenditures, tax experts and economists say Anwar is expected to expand the scope of existing taxes, such as raising the duty on sugary drinks rather than introduce new levies. GST is also unlikely to make a comeback next year, even as economists have been calling for the return of the highly unpopular multi-tier consumption tax that would significantly widen its tax base. Apart from expanding state coffers, a key plank to fixing government finances is cutting fuel subsidies deemed wasteful and channel the savings to other productive uses. The government has trimmed subsidies, which could generate some 8 billion in savings for the government annually, only to later announce an increase in civil servant salaries totaling 10 billion starting next year. Development expenditure, meanwhile, will dip from 90 billion allocated in budget 2024 to 87 billion to keep a lid on government borrowings, according to economists surveyed. Capital A's aviation business is expected to achieve a 15% cost reduction upon completion of its merger with the long-haul low-cost carrier under its sister company AirAsia-AAX. The merger, which will bring both AirAsia's short and medium to long-haul airlines business under one roof, is also expected to see a wider range of flight options, including more connections and new routes, according to Capital A CEO Tan Sri Tony Fernandes. Cost reduction coupled with more flight frequencies will likely translate into lower ticket prices for passengers, said Fernandes, who is both a Capital A and AAX shareholder. Capital A on Monday secured minority shareholders' approval to dispose of its 100% stake in Malaysia Air-Asia operating unit AirAsia and AirAsia Aviation Group for 6.8 billion ringgit to AAX in exchange for AAX shares and Capital A's debt novation to AAX. The deal is expected to be completed by end 2024, pending the approval of AAX's shareholders at its upcoming EGM on Wednesday. By 2025, the low-cost airline plans to increase its operational fleet by 21%, from 63 to 76 aircrafts, in order to support the 12% growth in daily flights and boost its network by adding 8 new destinations from 98 to 106. He added that the reactivation will significantly enhance the airline's ability to meet the rising travel demand across established and emerging markets in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Malaysia Aviation Group, the parent company of Malaysia Airlines, said the delivery of its first 20 Airbus A330neo widebody aircraft has been delayed for a second time due to findings identified by the European aircraft maker during the flight line stage. The aircraft was originally scheduled for delivery in September, but was rescheduled to this month due to failure of seat tests. It is now expected to arrive late November. As a result, MAG said it regrets to inform that Malaysia Airlines' planned inaugural A330neo flight to Melbourne on November 25th, along with subsequent flights scheduled with the A330neo, will be impacted. It said that the airline will revert to operating the existing fleet of A330-300s for these services with no changes to flight schedule. MAG also said it is working closely with Airbus and aircraft leasing company Avalon Holdings to secure a new delivery delivery timeline and expedite the aircraft's entry into service. Malaysia Airlines still expects to receive 5 A330neos by the first quarter of 2025. MAG Group MD Datuk Captain Isham Ismail expressed his deep disappointment with the aircraft delivery delays by Airbus. He added that MAG remains committed to its fleet modernisation plans and providing exceptional customer service. Renewable energy producer Cypark Resources has formed a consortium to jointly explore and develop energy solutions for the 186-hectare German technology park in AAX-Melaka. In a statement, the company said it has signed a memorandum of agreement with its largest shareholder, Jakel Capital and Melaka Corporation, to manage the planning, generation and distribution of energy for the park, a project that could cost an estimated 4 billion ringgit. Jakel Capital will hold a controlling 51% stake in the consortium, followed by Cypark with 29% and Melaka Corp with 20%. Cypark said the partners plan to integrate RE sources and modern-day energy management systems, including battery storage solutions, to ensure firm and cost-efficient power supply to the industrial park in consultation with Tenaga Nasional and Suruhanjaya Tenaga via the Corporate Renewable Energy Supply Scheme. At least 1,000 megawatts of solar-generated electricity is expected over the next 5 to 7 years for the park, which will include a dedicated section for data centers, Cypark said. Cypark Executive Chair Dato' Amy Morris said this partnership marks a significant milestone, and together with its partners, it is confident that the German technology park will set a new benchmark for Shares of Northeast Group ended its maiden trading day on the ACE market at 50.5 cent, a 0.5 cent gain from its issue price of 50 cent per share. Its market capitalization amounted to 374 million ringgit. The stock opened at 53 cent, marking a 3 cent or a 6% increase. It was the most actively traded counter of the day with 153.1 million shares transacted. The company specializes in manufacturing precision engineering components used in industries such as photonics, electrical and electronics, semiconductors, telecommunications, and optoelectronics. The company is allocating the bulk of the gross proceeds from the public issue for the construction of a new factory, which is expected to provide 79,020 square feet of production floor space and accommodate about 200 computer numerical control machines to support production activities. Proceeds from the sale of existing shares, meanwhile, will accrue to the selling shareholders, including Managing Director Ng Chai Chin and his brother Ng Chai Hee, who is also the Senior Operations Director.